and welcome to this special edition of This Week with Ajaz Haque. It is Thursday, March the 4th, 2021. The Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Imran Khan, is seeking a vote of confidence from the Parliament following the defeat of his nominee for a Senate seat from Islamabad, the Finance Minister, Mr. Haque. The Indian Supreme Court Chief Justice made some very stupid remarks, and there's a campaign to remove him. This is regarding a rapist and the victim. More detail in a little while. A U.S. investigation has revealed that they wasted $7.8 billion in Afghanistan on buildings and vehicles that nobody wanted. They rotted and lied empty, and only $343 million of it has been used, and the rest is all gone waste. Anyway, coming back to the Senate elections yesterday, there was a big surprise that Mr. Yusuf Gilani from Pakistan People's Party was elected as opposed to Mr. Haque, who's the current finance minister and nominee of Pakistan Tehreek Insaf. And this is despite the fact that the government had a majority. Government and its allies had won 81 votes in the National Assembly, and the opposition had won 60 votes. Mr. Gilani garnered 169 votes, and his opponent 164 votes, and 7 votes were spoiled. Now, corruption and bribery galore. Videos came out the night before where Mr. Yusuf Gilani's son was offering bribes to members of parliament, and he was giving them guidance on how to spoil their ballot in case they don't want to support their candidate, but as long as they spoil their ballot, that will help the cause. And there was even allegedly a Sindh minister, Mr. Nasir Shah, on the phone assuring the members of parliament that they will be paid, and in addition, the development funds will be allocated to them, and half of those they can keep. So open bribery and corruption. However, the Election Commission is asleep at the switch. Applications were filed with them to take action, and they said they will treat it on merit. One wonders what merit there is in bribery and corruption. Anyway, the Election Commission has completely and miserably failed to ensure the Supreme Court's instructions that they have to ensure there's a free and fair election and a corruption-free election. Unfortunately, the Election Commission took no action. Even an application was filed against Mr. Yusuf Gilani to disqualify him because of his son's admission that he had actually offered money and advised candidates to spoil their ballots, and still the Election Commission took no action. This is highly unfortunate because if the corruption and bribery goes so openly and freely, then what is the future of this country? Mr. Yusuf Gilani was previously disqualified by the Supreme Court for 5 years for not writing to the Swiss courts regarding Mr. Zardari's corruption. And his 5 years are up, but he is currently he's being charged for dishing out state property at fraction of the market price, and there's a good chance that he'll be disqualified and sent to prison by the NAB court anyway. In the meantime, Pakistan Tehreek Insaf, PTI, Imran Khan's party, is first likely to go to the Election Commission, and failing any action from them, they will probably go to Supreme Court and have this election voided. Let us see what happens. In the meantime, Imran Khan has decided that he wants to take a vote of confidence because he has a majority in the parliament. And unlike the Senate election where the ballot is secret, where corruption can take place, the vote of confidence or no confidence, the candidates have to stand up and be counted. So one is in full view of everyone, and the shenanigans that go on in the secret ballot can't take place. Now, the chairman of Senate election is next on March the 12th. And even though the PTI government and its allies have now a majority in the Senate, but I will not be surprised if Mr. Zardari and his corruption will have their own candidate win the chairman Senate election. Very unfortunate what has happened, but this has to be checked. The Supreme Court had given very clear instructions to the Election Commission, which they chose to ignore, and said they will implement these things from the next election, i.e. They wanted this election free for all. Very unfortunate. Now, the Indian Prime Minister, the Chief Justice of India made some extremely stupid remarks telling a rapist who tied and raped a young girl frequently, asking him if he would marry the victim, then they will let him go scot-free. This has caused an uproar in India, and there is a signature campaign to remove him from his position as Chief Justice of India. This is also very unfortunate, and I think the justices need to be careful with their remarks. He may have said it in a lighter context, but nevertheless, what is he trying to do? What about the rights of the victim? So basically, this way, the rapists get protected and the witness gets raped again and again by the same person. So hopefully, he will be shown the door. Now, the United States has wasted $7.8 billion, and this is just one component of $1 trillion that they wasted in Afghanistan. This $7.8 billion was spent on buildings and vehicles that nobody wanted, nobody used, nobody occupied. The buildings are rotted, the vehicles are rotted. They never asked their Afghan counterparts what they needed and where to build, but they decided and chose in their own wisdom to build these buildings and send a lot of vehicles. And as a result, billions of dollars were lost. At the end of the day, the inspection team from the US only found assets worth $343 million in use, and the rest of it all rotted away. The American taxpayers have a right to ask their government as to why their money is being wasted. People live in poverty in the US. A large number of people live in abject poverty in the US, and they're dependent on the state on food stamps and so on. This money could well be spent on their own citizens. Anyway, that's all for the week. More to come on at the end of this week. Have a good week, and we'll see you soon. Thank you and bye.